Hello, my name is Shanti Land, the Academic Director at Harvard's Preparatory Academy. Today, I will be talking to you about our iReady diagnostic system and what it means to you as a parent for your student. The iReady diagnostic system does a number of things. One, it lets us and you know where your child was at when we started the year. Two, it lets us and you know how well your child is progressing towards state standards. Also, it lets us know where we need to fill in gaps to help your student make it to grade level. Third and lastly, it gives you the opportunity and your student the opportunity to be able to do lessons that will help them get on grade level. Our goal at Harvard's Preparatory Academy is to make sure that every student is on grade level in reading and math. Over the next little bit of time, I will be sharing with you the data for how to read the diagnostic system. This data will be coming home to you over the next several days. Lastly, I will be showing you the MyPath and how your student will use MyPath to help them do assignments that will prepare them for grade level standards. As I mentioned, the purpose of this graph is to let you know how well your student has done on both of their diagnostic tests. For the student that we have here, the student on Diagnostic 1 got a score of 460, which puts them in the 4th grade level. We gave this test in August. As you see, on Diagnostic 2, this student is now at a 543, which places this 8th grade student at mid-8th grade, which places them on grade level. As you can see, there's two types of growth that the student has. You will see they have typical growth. Okay, typical growth is this growth that a student should make over the year. If you've noticed, this student has already surpassed that typical growth. We also have what is called stretch growth. The purpose of the stretch growth is to say that if a student continues to make these gains, they will be on grade level after a certain amount of time. For this student's gains were so great that it put them on grade level. If you notice, mid-grade level is at a 541. Although this student is at a 543 and we will still cautiously be watching them, they are now on grade level for the place of where we are in the school year. On grade level for the 8th grade in mathematics was between 518 and 585. The last thing that this data will show you is it will show you their placement by domain. These are the 4 areas where the state looks to see how well your student is doing in either math or English. And on test number 1, this student was at a grade 4 for numbers and operations, grade 4 for algebra and algebraic thinking, grade 5 for measurement and data, and grade 5 for geometry. After taking Diagnostic 2 and becoming on grade level overall, this student was at a mid-8th grade level for numbers and operations, grade 7 for algebra and algebraic thinking, mid-8th grade for measurement and data, and mid-8th grade for geometry. Because this student is at a 7th grade level, the student's MyPath will prescribe lessons to help this student get to a mid-8th grade level or late 8th grade level for algebra and algebraic thinking. Once this student becomes mid-8th grade level in algebra and algebraic thinking, then the MyPath will give them assignments that will move them towards late 8th grade level. This is the overall data that will be given to you as parents. As I said earlier, MyPath will show you 2 options for subjects that we can help your students in. If you notice, you'll see the 2 subjects, reading and math. For today, I'm going to click on math. What you see that comes up on this page is you see the teacher assigned. Now, these are assignments that the teachers felt that go along with grade level that the student needs to do, okay? It lets you know whether a student is past due, okay, and they need to get them done. But it will also be here with regular due dates, okay? Also, on the other side, what you see is you see the student's My Path, okay? If you have any questions about how to use iReady at home, here's a box instructing families to what to do. What we're going to do is we're going to click on the lesson for My Path. When we click on the lesson, what you notice is the My Path will tell me whether to resume a lesson or not. In this case, the student will be resuming a lesson, okay? After that, we'll click the arrow to go, and it'll say go. We click go.
You can use an array to solve 7 times 28, but that's a lot of pairs. Instead, you can show this problem using a rectangle. You can find the area of a rectangle by multiplying the length by the width. And to help make multiplying easier, you can split this into 2 smaller rectangles. Let's try it out.
As you can see that the computer talks to the student to help the student through. This says, how would you break apart 28 to make it easier to multiply 7 times 28? Then, if we could take the cursor and we can do
How would you break apart 28 to make it easier to multiply 7 times 28?
Okay. Once again, this is an interactive system, so these are things that the student can do in order to help, and they can see. 2 groups of 7. There's another group of 7.
Yes, using place value can help you find friendly numbers to multiply, like 20 and 8. Now let's solve it. Let's use an array to find out how many flowers there are. What multiplication expression does the array show?
Notice how it walked the student through to help the student be able to do this. So, if I was a student, I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I would put 7, and then I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would put 10, and then I would put done. And then it let me know that I was finished.
The array shows 7 times 10 flowers. Find the product.
Then it asked me, after I made my array, to find the product using good educational speaking. Put 7 and 70 in there.
There are 70 flowers. Now, let's use an area model to find the area of a garden that is 7 feet by 28 feet. What's the area of this part?
Once again, we would use the area model to help us. So we would multiply 7 times 20, and we would get 140.
The area of this part is 140. This is a partial product. What's the area of this part?
Now, as we notice, once again, notice how the system is walking us through. So,
the area of this part is 56. This is another partial product. What's the sum of the partial products?
now, once again, if you notice, this is walking us through.
What is 7 times 28? You got it. The total product is 196 square feet, which is the area of the whole garden. Find the area of a garden that's 8 feet by 56 feet.
Now,
how do you break apart the factor 56 using place value?
Now, if you notice, this is taking us through. It's basically like having a teacher with you. You can hear how the voice is working along with you, and they break it up into smaller bits and pieces. Now, it might be time for dinner, so it may be time to go. So if it's time to go, what we would do is we would pause. Okay? We can pause, go have dinner, do things that we need to do, and possibly come back and still play. One other thing is we could close. So the student could close this and come back and work on it later. So the student could close.
Are you sure you want to exit the lesson?
Okay? Notice how the system made a point to ask the student, do you want to exit or do you want to keep working? Okay? It's letting them know you're not finished. Okay? In this case, we're going to exit. Okay? Also, now once we exit, we're back on our original page. And because we're back on our original page, what you can see is you still see the same lesson, numbers and operations, multiplying by one-digit numbers, part 1, is still there, and it lets us know we are in progress. Okay? Also, we have My Path for reading as well. In this case, notice there are no teacher-assigned lessons. There's only just the My Path lesson. Once again, you would log into the lesson.
Great, but let's get back to the passage. I'd like to learn a few memory tricks myself.
Okay. This lesson for this student was already started. So because it was already started, it lets you know. If you notice down here on the bottom, it lets you know that the student is 59% complete and that they still got some work to do. Once again, this is a regular student, so I don't want to infringe on their work that they've already done, but you can see how My Path works with students and talks them through their lessons and their work. There's also some other tabs down here that are useful for students. There's the to-do list. That's where we are right now, letting us know that we need to do our next lesson and that I've started it and I'm not finished. There's also My Progress. My Progress lets me know what I've done for the week. So reading lesson stats, time on task, I've been on task for that for 1 minute, okay? It lets me know how much I should be doing. Reading lesson streak, I've only done one lesson passed in the row. My current streak is 0, so I need to get to work, okay? It also tells me my completed work, things that I've already done already. For instance, if I didn't pass something, it told me that I didn't pass. If I did pass a lesson, it did tell me. It also tells me when and where I did it and how I did, and it also lets parents know how I did on my diagnostic. Okay? But then I can go back to the lesson stats, and there it is. Lastly, what I can do is I can personalize my page. So I can personalize my page with my stuff, with some themes, or if I do what I'm supposed to and my teacher likes what I did, my teacher could give me some rewards in order to play some games and stuff. In this case, we don't have those rewards yet. Okay? I'm going to go back to the home page. Okay? We're back on the My Path homepage. Remember, My Path is a system that is there to help you and your child make it to grade level. If students are not doing My Path, those bars that we saw as far as stretch growth and typical growth will not be met. We want to let you know that students are to be doing 2 My Path math assignments a week, 2 My Path reading assignments per week, for a total of 4 My Path assignments for the week. This does not mean that they have to stop at 4. They can do as many as you would like for them to do, but they have to do 4 per week. Okay? This is a requirement. And teachers will be calling you, letting you know if students don't do their My Path assignments. We're here at Harvest to help your child, and we want to help them in any way that we can. Using the My Path and the iReady system, we feel that we will bring them to grade level. We want to thank you for listening to our tutorial, and we hope that you have a clear picture of how the iReady system and my path will help your child move towards grade level standards. Thank you.